I am dog tired. I mean, dog tired, but I'm like, I have some exciting news. Very exciting news. I found out, drum roll please, I found out that chapter 1 through 3 was accepted and approved with minor revisions. My only revisions are formatting. So I'm really, really relieved. As y'all know, I've been doing a 45-day challenge, but I've kind of been like paused for the last 2 days because of the amount of travel and just my day. So, yeah. But today I went to a summit advocating for early childhood education. Not just advocating, but talking about statewide initiatives and all the things, but I was definitely advocating for some things for our rural area and just trying to make sure that they're not like merging all of our areas together and saying that it's going to work out and it's going to be great because it's not. Um, but when I tell you I am so tired right now, it's not even funny. Oh my gosh. It's just, I literally told my students tonight, I was like, guys, if you don't know why, hey D, I said it has been a 12-hour day for me. Actually, more than a 12-hour day because I had to be at the basically conference center by like 8:30 this morning, but I was meeting someone downstairs in the hotel so I could drive both of us. And when I tell you, I woke up as if I had to give Trina medication first thing this morning. That was problem one. I was up at like 6:20 and actually I think it was like 6:10. So I called Charles and spoke to him for a little bit and then I just laid in bed and read my book. And then I was like, "Oh, I better get up." My book was getting kind of good. Hi there. And so after that, I got up and just started getting my life together because I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a day." And then we kicked it off early. Good evening. We kicked off the meeting with a hot button topic, and this was wild to me. I didn't feel like I was saying anything no more than what other people were saying in the room. Hey, girl. Hey, Alma. Um, and honestly, I can't even say exactly what I said in the room because I just feel like Holy Spirit just took over the whole situation. I was just like, I just let it all out there. Because you ever just sit in meetings and you're asking direct questions, or people are asking direct questions and wanting like, a response, and they keep like dancing around the answers and are not really answering them at all. That's what we were experiencing. It was like we were getting gaslit the whole time. And I just can't stand for that. And it was like in a moment while the conversations were happening and there was all this deflecting happening. I had like connected a couple of dots in my mind. So, and I had basically figured out, I'm like, wait a minute. There are other areas in our state that are rural that have already combined and they're struggling with getting services. You said exactly what we're supposed to say. Exactly. And it was just something in that moment. You ever have that moment where it just all clicks and you're like, wait a minute, that's what I'm supposed to say. And so basically, I connected the dots. I live in a rural area, I work in a rural area, and I was able to speak from both perspectives. And then I was able to just go on and say, you don't get it. Like, y'all don't get it. I said, I'm a volunteer, so I can say what I want to say, for one. And because y'all don't pay me to be here. As a matter of fact, like I could either take PTO or take a personal day to be here. So whatever the CEO is thinking or feeling, it doesn't make a difference to me. because I'm going to say what needs to be said on behalf of the children that are in rural counties in this state. We are more rural than we are urban. And the way that they treated us and the way that they thought we were just going to take that whooping laying down, no. And when I was done talking, people started clapping. I was like, what the heck? Oh, the comments are always off the wall. Alma Jean, they are always off the wall. That's why I have moderators. I got D, and then I got a high schooler that I don't think she's going to be on here tonight, but the two of them moderate. But D always hops on here, and she gets them kicked out. She kicks them out because they get crazy. Every live, and if you don't know this, my lives. So first off, my analytics, the majority of like the folks that follow me, they are, it's like 70% men. And I don't understand because my content is not that men can't, men or young men or whatever can't take anything away, but I'm like 70% of them? Interesting. I don't know what to say. Yeah, so you read the comments and it's like they're nice comments, like, they're not rude, but every now and again I get some real crazy ones. But I see D hasn't had to kick anybody out. So that's nice. But yeah, so I think they thought, they were going to tell us what needed to be done and that everybody was going to be like, all right, that's fine. But again, even for those of us that don't live in rural areas, I'm like, you asked us, you paid for our hotel, you're paying for our mileage, and you just think like we're not going to have a voice? It just didn't make any sense. And so we all had our voices, we all said what needed to be said. And then by the time I went to another session, and mind you, like my group, we all were in the same group together. One of the board members called us troublemakers. Oh, that's the troublemaker table. Why we got to be troublemakers? Because we don't want to be quiet because we're advocates? Like, and then he just basically filibustered us. Like he literally talked to us for 45, like mansplaining. That's basically what he did. And was like, I'm just going to keep talking so then nobody asks any questions. It was just too much. I'm like, I was checked out after that. We had, then we met with their marketing team. And bless their hearts, they're all super young. I'm pretty sure I've got them all by at least 10 to 15 years. And I'm like, they just were so young, they don't know, you know what I mean? And I'm sure they had some people coming in with angst, attitude, and mindset, and they just didn't know what to do with us. And by then I was like, I'm not doing this. Listen, they wanted us to do storytelling, and guess what they used? The SMART goals. Y'all know I know what a SMART goal is because my content talks about it. You need to make some shirts for the next time. Making good trouble. Exactly. I do. I do. If I was drinking wine in this season of my life right now, I would have bought myself a bottle of wine today. I would have been sitting in this room just having me a glass or two or three. But no, and by the time we got to the strategy session, which was 2 hours long, now mind you, it was volunteer. Y'all are radical. It was volunteer, but they sure had us scheduled from 7:30 to 4. Like it's our job. I'm like, and that was something else that came up too. It was like, you do realize, like, having us be here till 4 o'clock as if we don't all have a 3 hour commute ahead of us. And that doesn't include the accidents that will happen on I-10 or I-17. Like, take your pick. I get frustrated with people that live in urban areas. Not all the time, because they're not all like that, but the ones that just, you could tell they've never lived outside of urban or any of that. They have no concept and they don't care. And so they try to make rules that fit their needs, but it's not meeting everybody else's. So, and then I also did some networking, so that was good. Like there, it's been just a very productive day. So productive. I DoorDash my first like thing I've ever done in my life. I had some Thai. It was so good. It was so good. And I DoorDashed this little chocolate cake, but it's very rich. And then of course I brought my Waterloo from home. This is another company right here that could be sponsoring me. Waterloo. This one right here. Hmm. Because I sure drink them a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. I still don't drink. I don't even have them every day, but I'll have them usually when I drive home on Wednesdays. So, but yeah, so that's my like little update for the day. I see we got some different language going on in the chat. The cake is really good, I think. Oh, I'm sure it is good. It's not terrible. But I just wanted to share that good news with y'all that my chapters were accepted and I got to email my chair. Pardon, because I texted her earlier to say they got accepted. And now I need to give her some scheduled times for next week that I'm available to I know. I think because I happened to get that email while I was in that big meeting earlier, I think it was just like everything, I just felt empowered. Like I had something to say. Because nobody in the meeting knew, they don't know that I'm like working on my doctorate or anything like that. So it's not like I announced it to anybody there. I just shared it with you two. Well, I shared it with Charles as well. And then I'm going to call my mom tomorrow to tell her about the meeting. Because she'll be like, see, and to think you almost didn't go. And I'm like, I almost didn't. For all the reasons why I didn't want to be there the rest of the day. Because I knew that they were just going to continuously gaslight us throughout the day. And I just don't have patience for that. I'm like, this is wasting my time. And if I could have checked into this room, I would have checked in. I don't know why that's up there, but I would have checked in earlier. I would not have waited. Oh, somebody's AirPlay passcode is on the TV. All right, that's interesting. I ain't got no comments. But I think I'm going to vlog this spot because let me tell you, where the state essentially put us last night, I was like, Lord, I will not spend $395 or $345 to stay here another night. We're going to have to stay someplace else. And it's spring training here in Phoenix. So, all the hotel prices are like sky high, like stupid sky high. But thankfully, I found a really nice place to stay at tonight. So I'll vlog it and share it with y'all. And for those of you that are like just hopping on or off, check out my regular videos. I appreciate y'all joining me on the lives. I'm going to close this out when I hit the 15-minute mark. Thank you, D. I see we didn't have to kick anybody out. Thank you, Alma Jean, for hopping on. I appreciate it. I was hoping that our youth would have hopped on, but at the same time, I don't blame them. It is Wednesday. So they're probably getting themselves together for school tomorrow. But I've got another adventure tomorrow, and then I'll be heading back home. So it'll be nice to be staying in my place again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good night. Bye. Thank you for the celebrations. Woohoo. Good night.